going to see type 3 test for single proportion. In the previous class we have seen two types. One is the test for single mean and second test is test for difference of mean. And here the third one is test for single proportion. So all these comes under large sample. So how will you identify whether it is a large sample or small sample? So from the sample size you have to identify the given sample is a large or small sample. So the sample size is greater than 30, it comes under large sample, and if it is less than 30, it is a small sample. Okay, now let us come to the question. So in a city of sample of 500 people. So here 500 people is the sample size. So this comes under large sample. Okay, what is given? Given n is equal to 500. So this is the sample size. And out of 500 people, 280 are tea drinkers. So if it is given like a proportion, like a ratio, you have to take this under the proportion type. That is, out of 500 people, tea drinkers are given by 280. So let us denote this by small p. So small p is nothing but that is sample proportion. So 280 divided by 500. So the answer is 0.5. Next, what is given? And the rest are coffee drinkers. Can we assume that tea and coffee drinkers are equally popular in the state at 5% level? Is our question. So the formula for this is given by z equal to small p minus capital P divided by square root of p cube by n. So here we have our small p and n. You have to find capital P and capital Q. So capital P is found by capital P is nothing but from the question you have to identify the capital P. Here the question is whether the tea and coffee drinkers are equally popular. So equally popular means that is 50%. 50% that is given by 1 by 2. So capital P is equal to 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So how will you calculate capital Q? So capital Q is nothing but 1 minus capital P. So 1 minus capital P equal to 1 minus 0.5, that is Q is equal to 0.5. So all the data are available. Now let us move on to the solution. So first we have to formulate the null and alternative hypothesis. So let me write null hypothesis. Null hypothesis which is denoted by H naught. So how will you write null hypothesis? So in the previous test and all we will write that there is no significant difference between the sample mean and population mean. Here we are discussing about the proportion. So you have to write there is no significant difference. There is no significant difference between the sample proportion and population proportion. Or you can write it also from the question also. Here the question is whether the tea and coffee drinkers are equally popular. So we can easily say tea and coffee drinkers are equally popular. So like this also we can write. So the notation is H naught capital P is equal to 0.5. So then next one, alternative hypothesis. Here we are taking tea and coffee drinkers are not equally popular. That is H1 P not equal to 0.5. So this is two-type test. Next one you have to write level of significance. So level of significance. So in our question, level of significance is given by 5%. So alpha equal to 5% level of significance. We know the value of Z alpha, is it not? So Z alpha value is 1.96. Next, let us write test statistic. We have to write down the formula and calculate the value of Z. So Z is equal to small p minus capital P divided by root of P cube by n. So which is equal to, substitute all the values. Small p is nothing but 0.56 minus 0.5 divided by root of 0.5 into 0.5 divided by n value is 500. So the answer for Z is equal to 2.68. So here the tabulated value is greater than the formula value. So that is rejected. H0 is rejected. That means H1 is accepted. Hence tea and coffee drinkers are not equally popular. Thank you.